grateful and happy to see so many of you. It's so inspiring to welcome you to BFI. Artists, moving image, documentaries, short films. So let's broaden that out and everybody put their energy into making sure this happens. And I want to do that because there's so many times.
Just right here. Okay,
right. We got it, guys? We good? Ladies, thank you so much. Thank you.
Right here, hold it. Right here, please. Right in the middle, right in the middle.
A big part of when we first started Time's Up here in the UK, a big part of that, of what we wanted to do really, I think, was not establish something before everyone was represented. The important thing about the Justice and Equality Fund, the way that it's set up, is that it's donating to organisations that have perhaps already been established on a grassroots level, where they know what their community needs. You know, they have a small infrastructure, and they're underfunded. You know, it would be fantastic to know that anybody who felt unsafe in the workplace could call a helpline across the board. You know, it doesn't matter who they are, anyone, that they would know who to call if they felt sexually unsafe in the workplace. Or even if they just felt irritated and couldn't do their job, couldn't get on with it, you know.
And Rebecca. Eyes this way, please. Again, eyes to your left, please, Toby. Toby. A few more the other side of Keira. Thank you, that's great. Okay, nice and close. All eyes this way, please. And looking left to right, please.
We do have a huge platform and responsibility to be mindful of what we choose to do. You know, I don't mean in our own lives. I mean more like artistically. You know, what you can do philanthropically. There are so many things you can put your voice to, and I know I'm only now just realising how effective that can be. It took me a long time to be even comfortable with that, to know what to do with it, or, you know, do anything with it, or even use it. But I think the letter that the farm workers wrote to the original Time's Up group in the US of women in the entertainment industry, I mean, not only just as a working woman, not only when you hear that letter do you feel huge compassion and perhaps identify with it in many ways, but I think everyone's heart went out to the fact that, you know, and it became very clear that we had the power to sort of say something, and these people didn't.
I think I'm sure it says a lot about what I'm focused on. Yeah, inspiring, and long something so to my family has been, I'll tell you, my children, when they've gone through hardships in their life, of love and life and purpose, that it helps them to put things in perspective.
We're going to flip-flop a little bit, camera with the two.
I at least feel that fortunate, Luong and I both, that we have a platform to be able to discuss.
It's so easy to make horrible creative choices that perpetuate these negative stereotypes of women who are hypersexualized or demonized because they have any flaws. You know, I remember when I was younger watching Angelina Jolie and something and thinking, oh my God, she's such an extraordinary actress. And then I saw her in Tomb Raider and I was so confused because you know, in order for that incredibly talented and beautiful person to have a voice, there was also a whole area of society that she sort of could only reach, that only has as far a reach as Tomb Raider. And she reached it, you know, and she now can do whatever she wants. However, what a pitiful shame that if you don't want to be part of that you can't have a wide reach. I think it's really bananas to think that people aren't interested in female stories when more than half of the world is female. The redistribution of power is such an important thing because the more women we have in positions of power, the more people of colour we have in positions of power, the more people that we have from the LGBTQ+ community in positions of power, the more they'll just pick up a script, simple, something that affects millions of people without realising what a massive ripple effect that drop in the ocean is having. They'll pick up a script and think, I identify with that, and it'll get made. It's sometimes as simple as that. You know, it's important for people to be represented in a large, you know, in a Marvel way. It's important for people to see themselves represented that way. And we had, I mean, up until last year, we'd really come to a very frightening standoff where we seem to be just making films about, like, white dudes in capes flying around. I don't know how it got that bad. Things are changing, and I think that is getting better in my industry. The hope with Time's Up is that that then trickles down to other industries, so people do see themselves represented.
And for younger generations to know their history